So let's see how much of you are gonna tune in. I'll prepare my hydration drink in the meantime. But if you look at the title, you will see what's the topic of the live stream. So let's talk more when people come in. This thing is... I can't even open it. Oh man. You're laughing at me. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I never can open this thing with my teeth. Can you help me, baby?
No, just plug it.
This is what I have to. But again, my teeth are not as. I think I don't have locking space in the front.
Use your fangs all the
Thanks.
time.
Okay. I never use my thanks. I'm hopeless. And this is, ladies and gentlemen, how my preparation goes. I cannot even open hydration powder to make sure I'm hydrated in the Southeast Asia. Yeah, outsmarted by survival chances very low. Okay, no, I think I'm getting there. I think almost got it. Hold up. Yeah! Yay! At the end of the day, with a lot of effort and burnt calories. Okay, so I'm just making hydration powder drink because it's very important. But yeah, anyways, guys. That's a Q&A. It is, hi Jack, missed you, probably. That's what you meant. Well, I'm back, I'm here. This month is a lot of boxing, and my boxing debut is gonna happen on 23rd, June 23rd. So, yeah, it's gonna be a lot of boxing live streams, like whether it's talking or... Now I need to mix it and I don't have anything to use for it. Okay. Oh, I'll figure it out. Hello, hello. But anyways, yeah, if any of you watched fights, like, well, we have Inoue and Nakatani. I gotta be honest, I didn't watch some prelims, and because the timing was a little bit odd. It was rather when I had my own training and I kind of had to hop in, or at very late at night, and I never sacrifice my sleep unless it's very, very important event and I can sleep through later. But I watched Inoue Nakatani. I saw the highlights of the Prades versus Marilena. I know that it was a stoppage in the third round. And that's just because, well, I thought that I confused the time difference, and I thought it was supposed to be this morning, closer to Benavides card, and I was mistaken, so I kind of missed that one. And then I watched co-main event to Benavides Ramirez and the main fight, obviously. And yeah, I'm definitely blown away with Benavides' performance. That was really, really great fight. A lot of good things too. Like even for myself, I took some notes because I'm gonna debut too, and they're very interesting things that David Benavides does, except his speed and his abilities to create great timing, and combined with defense and offense from all the middle / close distance, and sometimes going like outside of the range. But yeah, that's very... I just started training again. My shoulder is still messed up. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Like, what was the diagnosis? What was exactly the issue with your shoulder? Feel free to share. Oh, I think I mix this with... It's funny how it just froze. I put the powder and mixed with the cold water, and it just not froze, but got solid within a couple minutes. Interesting. Oh, that dislocated and broken shoulder. How did that happen? If it's okay, you can share it here in chat. I'm just breaking the powder.
So many difficulties today.
Yeah, so many
The
difficulties.
evil bag was an opening for you, and now you solved this motion altogether.
Yeah. That's okay, I'm managing. But yeah, all is great, all is good. And I thought you were cutting coke. Well, definitely sounds like I have a skill set for it. But no, that's just hydration powder.
Yes, hydration powder.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
You stocked us up. You got the... got it for us. I think should be alright. Okay. It's like an orange liquid, and yeah, you're right. It doesn't taste horrible. There was the one that tasted completely horrendous. This is fine. I got into a fight with the hoodlum at the park. Well, that doesn't sound good. Well, I hope you recover soon, but yeah, that's almost getting an injury for nothing. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you're safe. Especially if it was self-defense, that's another story. But well, hope you're doing well. What are you doing? I'm just live streaming, open for the questions regarding this weekend, the fight weekend, and also I'm ready to respond to the questions regarding my upcoming fight. So finally, it is happening. It is happening in June, 23rd of June, in Ho Chi Minh, Saigon, Vietnam, in their local promotion. It's called Trigger Boxing Promotion. Yeah, it's gonna be. It was a nice event last time, so my teammate debuted there with the victory, a knockout victory in the round third. And now, yeah, it's me. I already know who is my opponent. I already started training specifically tailored for it, and generally all is good. So, and it's also good that I have a little bit more than months and a half extra for the preparation. So it's not like a short notice call. So I have plenty of time to do what needs to be done. And I'm intending to do more content regarding how I eat, the preparation, the mental state. I'm not going to talk about everything before the fight, obviously, but then also after fight. I'm probably going to review my own fight regarding, despite the result. I'm intending to obviously go and win, and I'm going to train for it. But at the same time, yeah, it's you never know what happens. The other girl she's also debuting, but she has kickboxing background, some boxing background. She even has a couple of fights in MMA. So she's actually, she's used to standing, maybe even more than I do, standing in the actual fight. But again, it's just everybody has to start from somewhere, right? And that's my starting point, finally, for which I was preparing for quite some time, since the beginning of last year. And for people who don't know, I've been around boxing for way longer, and I have some little experience in amateur boxing, like 10 years ago. And ever since, I've been always training on and off with the boxing. I never completely gave up on it. But since last year, that was the time when I made the decision to do it, and also show it on my YouTube channel, show the journey, the preparation, what I focus on, etc. So yeah, my husband says I'm talking about my pro debut fight that happens this, and the fights that happened this weekend, boxing and MMA. You fight good. Yeah, I think so. I think I'm ready. I'm cheering for you. Thank you, Junior. Appreciate it. You're gonna destroy her. You know this. Well, I'm intending to do so, respectfully. I'm not the big time trash talker. Respect to everyone who steps on the ring. But again, I'm intending to do everything right. And I'm not thinking about what's going to be next. No overthinking. Clear mind and mentality of, okay, this is my next step. This is what I'm preparing for, and that's what I already know the plan. I already know what to do against a person with her style. What I need to train. And there are certain things I'm already trained, which my footwork, my natural ability to move and pretty much feel comfortable is okay. I trained that for more than a year now, or around a year. But there are certain tailored things, which is maybe a little bit of, so you have fencing boxing, for example, and you can move a lot more, relatively open. You have closer distance when you get in and you guard up and you efficiently start using guard with always an intention to, once you get hit, you respond back straight away. That's good for pressure and pressing the opponent. So there's certain things. And keep training on endurance, of course. There's going to be some specific extra work in the right amount for just the endurance, both muscular and cardiovascular. My husband is he thinks I'm going to walk through first opponent, but not smart to underestimate your opponent. Yeah, that's not what we do. I also share the mentality how it should be. So there is one thing, okay, physical training, boxing, preparation, that's nutrition, sleep, recovery, all that's the one part I'm going to talk about quite a lot. But another part is the attitude. For example, attitude of a fear of the first step and first debut, and let's say fear of failing. I just neglect it. Whatever I would feel, it's okay. I will let you feel, but I'm not going to let it affect me. Once I step there, it's like, the stuck or scared animal can be dangerous, right? So especially the one who knows where to channel that adrenaline. And another thing is, don't underestimate the opponent ever, even if they are clearly not as good as you are, or whatever you might think. Never underestimate anyone who steps in front on the ring. You might be objectively knowing you're better or you're worse, depends. Sometimes matchups are different, but never underestimate anyone in front of you. And I'm going to talk about those parts too, my mental attitude towards it. I'm from Queens, New York City. Well, that makes sense then. Be careful, please, and I'm glad you're safe. Now, you train like a maniac. I think I train more like a nerd. I'm really, really nerdy about boxing, and apart from training, I watch fights. I take care of a lot of. I focus on my recovery big time, science-backed information that is, and obviously. I try also not to be too, how to say that? Don't get too softened. Footwork, technique, and moving is great, but as a boxer, you should be able to take that hit and go hard, always respond, always punish back. So that's one thing I'm going to keep training more and more and more, because for that specific fight, I really need that. Well, for pretty much for every fight, there might be moments like that. You need that switch to that specific state, guard up, head movement, just go through. Not much of the fencing and trying to work on points, but sometimes you push forward, and that needs to be trained. And the mechanism of switching, being able to quickly switch, whether to freeze for too long, that is also something that you kind of need to train. Go for the knockout in the first round. Possibly, it depends. I will go, I intend to start it, and I think that's completely normal. You don't want to accept certain times when you know that they might come to you and you start counter punching, okay? But usually it's better to start yourself. And the focus is not to go too hard. Once you start thinking punching hard, it doesn't translate in the ring. But once you start thinking about going fast and accurate, and with the simple basics in the boxing, nothing fancy before you already have control in the ring. I think that's the right attitude. I think if you watch most of the good quality fights, you will see that one side is just better at that. They just, in the beginning, they go more like jab cross, and they go like jab cross hook, guard, go backwards. Some go on the distance. It's just the quality execution of the basics, and also checking your opponent pretty much. It's gonna be 4 rounds, by the way. So it's a good entry. For women, it's 2 minutes. So that's all. I train 3 minutes with guys pretty much. So I think that is already good. My pacing is not bad. But again, there's going to be certain plan to go in, start, press, take a couple punches, but take on the guard with a little head movement, deep, and then go 1, 2, 3 harder punches, for example, yeah? And to have outbursts the way that pressing, don't get hit much, but if you get hit, it's fine. Still continue doing the plan. Don't have outbursts with just too short intervals, because, well, if I have, let's say, 20 outbursts within the 2 minutes, it's probably going to turn into brawling, and that's just it can just exhaust you completely. So yeah, and once sometimes you see that you start working precise, pressing, showing that you don't care, you're just going to go there. And once you see the little breaks in their defense, in their mental state, their endurance, well, this is where you can go more confident, I would say. But again, never underestimate your opponent, even on the beginning level. Be aggressive, yes. Be aggressive. Be pressuring. That's the good state to be in the ring. Okay, I work out. Well, great to hear. Yeah, what we know from opponent, she goes hard. Well, not sometimes. Sometimes some of her, even in MMA fights, I watched those 2 fights. One was a victory, one was a loss. Actually, not necessarily. Probably depends on her state. Maybe her plan will be come on me, which pretty much I'm ready for that. To kind of, that's okay, get hit or even dodge and just come back straight away, punish that action straight away. But it might be the thing she might be trying to get in the second number, and I think that's even better, because if she's working as a number 2, that's a little bit losing position in this situation. So for me, it's going to be even easier just to take that center, press against the ropes, and just do what I've been training quite well for doing. But there are certain things you just see it on the ring. You see their strategy, you see their attitude. It's very important about what state you are at. Again, hesitation is probably the killer than being nervous. Even after you step in, you're just nervous and you don't dare to start. That's kind of the biggest thing. And there is a way how to train it. If you go with the open hand forward, just desperately, you're most likely going to be countered by someone who is just decent, not even the pro level. We're going on the entry level, right? Both me and her. But there are combos. For example, do check jab, deep, and go right, left. Just simple combo with a little pause with the deep. Most likely you will, even if there is no punch back, well, it's fine. it's just a good setup. So there's certain combos, certain ways how to get in and just get that distance and land those punches and start doing the work. Okay, what do we have here? Be lighter, be like butter. Uh, oh, don't worry. I'm not eating. I'm actually already down. I was 56 and a half. Now I'm 55 and a half, and we're gonna fight in the 52. And I'm just being in a calorie deficit. Yes, I like eating, but it's not that I like eating McDonald's. I haven't eaten McDonald's for a very long time. It's just about, even with the quality food, I always eat maintenance pretty much. And well, when you start doing the deficit, you need to shrink it a little bit and readjust the calories and the volume of or certain products that you eat. I'll show you more of that when I kind of make more contents, maybe shorts around that. Like, for example, what I'm going to eat today and how many calories is that. And we like to cook delicious food, but again, there can be quite low calorie and high protein. Jack got killed in the octagon. I felt sorry for him because I anticipated that. I think Islam Makhachev defeat against Islam Makhachev still carried on. Like that is not uncommon. When you have a fighter who is good, who is on the top, who is like dominating, like he has very solid boxing in the UFC, for example, he trained BJJ, he was pretty much doing well off, and then that one defeat, maybe a little bit embarrassing defeat. Like, again, to me, I don't think that any defeat, things happen, but for him, that's maybe how he would feel like, and or he comes back and he's not fully recovered mentally. He's not ready, rather, for Pratis or anyone else. So, and Pratis is I think he's just comfortable up there. Like, guy smokes, eats whatever he wants, but he's so chill and he's so about fighting, and he has good fighting IQ, and when it comes to striking, especially. There you go. Unless you are probably a crazy pressuring wrestler like Islam now in the welterweight, or maybe Michael Morales as well. It's kind of like, I see Pratis. Well, with young Gary, he lost, but again, that fight went quite long, and I think it was just a style difference. Sometimes style loses against style. So Carlos Pratis was like, they basically fed him Jack in his, with all what he was going through, I think. My guy is next to fight Makhachev. Well, Prad is definitely getting all the hype for it, and I think it could be an interesting fight. It could be an unpredicting fight, but yet with Islam's wrestling and good ability to, he might not be matching Prades with his striking all the time, but Islam is actually quite a good counter striker. He has good those leg kicks and head kicks come in the right time. He has quite a solid fight, stand-up fight IQ as well. And then he sets up quite well his striking to go for the takedown. And again, in this case, once he has Prades there, it's not going to be easy for Prades. But again, there is, I think in Carlos's case, there is a striker's chance definitely against Islam, with his power and accuracy when it comes to punches. I would love to see Michael Morales versus Islam Makhachev. I think that's going to be the toughest matchup. But what do you think? There's also Ian Gary. I definitely wants to fight. So Islam against like quite a few fighters. There is also Tapuria in the lightweight and those kind of talks. So yeah, we shall see what's going to be next. Thoughts on the female GOAT MMA? Well, I can point out two fairly. It's Amanda Nunes and Valentina Shevchenko. Those two, like...
Rose.
Rose, Alessa Grasso, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, they're also like, they had this peak, and I think they beat all of them, were like at the point they were beating legends. Grasso beat Valentina. Call it whatever you want, but that was like she has crazy killer's instinct. That girl knows Rose Namajunas when she was on top, super stoic, super precise, very well rounded. So yeah, I would put, and Joanna Jędrzejczyk also, like she's definitely. I'm not sure if she's Hall of Famer, but she deserves to be that. And well, Rose beat Joanna. So yeah, I would point out, but again, I would still point out like top two, Amanda Nunes and Valentina Shevchenko, like by their achievements, I would say. Talking in UFC. Kayla is great, but again, she has now a little bit of the injury and she hasn't been back, haven't fought yet. And well, Chris Cyborg, I would like. She's been around for so long. She beat Gina. Ronda never fought her. So and well, Chris lost to Amanda, but again, and she has the history of some of the controversial stuff which we know about. But again, as a mixed martial artist, they're very dedicated, very tough fighter too. Ilya Taporia is 80 at the 5'7". That's crazy. I wouldn't say that's that crazy, but yeah, that's quite. He's getting jacked. That's true. Good luck. Thank you. Hello, hello. Damn, it's about UFC. LOL. Yes, it is. I'm going to do some MMA classes this coming week. Well, probably. Finally, you take the responsibility for slapping Peter Yan, right? The other news, Peter Yan will be slapped. Yes. I don't think Taporia can beat Islam. I think it's a good factor for him, everyone, or even maybe Islam, or people. The more people underestimate someone who is capable of things, the better it is. I think that way. Yes, Taporia. So that, but Taporia is not that small comparing to Islam. Well, for example, we take Volkanovski, and one of their fights, I think it was, I was confused for a second. Second one was a short notice and he got knocked out. Yeah, that happens. Volk is one of my favorite. I think he's a legend too, despite his 2 losses to Islam and Taporia. The guy is 37, 38, and he still dominates now, the featherweight. Except Taporia, I think is as good as Volkanovski's fighting IQ, but maybe even tougher with his striking. I mean, I think he can knock out. Like, I don't see Taporia fighting Michael Morales in the welterweight. Like, that would be, that's just too much. So I see Taporia, and probably that's the thing. If they fight with Makhachev, even in the welterweight, that kind of gonna be the only thing. Like when GSP fought Michael Bisping, he just returned after 4 years retirement, fought him in the middleweight, and you know GSP was in the welterweight pretty much all his career, and then he retired again, or retired for good. You know, something like that might happen. But it might not. I still think they will make fights more of. There's Prades, a strong candidate. Ian Gary is there in the division. There are naturals for division, like naturally in the welterweight right now. Michael Morales, as I said, that's something that I'm curious about. Versus Islam. Islam is kind of like everyone wants to fight Islam right now, and it's definitely quite deserved. Okay, let's scroll up. I predicted Carlos via knockout versus GDM. Yeah, I thought so about that too. Again, also taking GDM's mental state after losing against Makhachev, coming back, being more nervous, not failing. Like, I think those factors played a big role too. You're right, darling. I mean, just sharing my opinion. Tapuria is dense for sure, but Islam is too dangerous. Yeah, Islam is too dangerous, but so is Tapuria. It just, I think the question there would be, yeah, there might be like even small advantages either or other side, and I think in welterweight Islam has more advantages when it comes to the physical aspects. For example, even wrestling. Tapuria has that unplayed card that people, he has few submissions in his career, but people kind of overlook it, especially after his series of the knockouts, like knocking out pretty much legends. And well, but Tapuria is a good wrestler too. They actually come from the wrestling. He and his brother learned boxing later on, and I think their attitude towards training when they trained boxing separately as the boxing, and they trained wrestling separately as the wrestling, I think is very correct attitude. So he has that card of unexpected. Like you've seen Arman Tsarukyan fighting Islam, and that was actually very good. Like Arman was maybe a little bit behind on the wrestling, but there were some dangerous moments for Islam. So imagine Arman had Tapuria striking and he could execute it once they were on the feet. You know what I mean? Those factors play a role. And yeah, by the way, Tapuria and Arman are pretty much the same height. From the other hand, Islam's advantage is when he's bigger, after doing the weight cut, passing weight, gaining, stacking up back it's through the water and glycogen and getting to the normal weight, having a little size advantage. What happens is it's just he's going to be a bigger guy in the wrestling. So that's just going to be a factor on its own. No matter how great Ilya's wrestling is, he will need to be really like try his best not to be under someone who is heavier, who can control from the top position and basically put you in the defensive position. As I said, I'm pretty much sure Ilya knows how to escape those positions, but the weight factor in this case gonna play an advantage for Islam. So it's like a little nuances in this case. I think both have experience, IQ, the pressure, they have adaptability, they have good arsenal on pretty much everything, with the slight advantages of, I would still put Makhachev's wrestling probably as more, but we don't know Ilya's wrestling exactly for in this case. He's probably going to just use it exactly to keep the fight up. When it comes to power, Ilya can knock out welterweight, I think, except maybe Michael Morales. If it connects, especially when he stacks up the weight, like that guy's power and how he transmits power through his punches, I think is a little bit underestimated sometimes. People call it luck, but it's not. As a boxer, I'm telling you, it's not. Okay, I'll keep scrolling up. I'm already married, thank you very much, but no, I'm already married. Oh, have you watched Tomorrow Fight Night? You mean the fight? Well, I missed Fight Night. I only watched the highlights of the Pradas versus, and I did not watch the rest of the card. I usually wake up. Usually, most of UFC events happen like a Sunday morning of my time, but at this time I forgot that it was in Australia, which is quite closer to us. So it was supposed to be evening Saturday, and at that point I was watching Inoue versus Nakatani boxing match, so it's like a lot of those things were overlapping. Yes, at lightweight, Ilya have a chance. I think at lightweight, Ilya might even have an edge because he naturally feels better at the lightweight. For Makhachev, he was really struggling cutting that weight, and even that little factor could play a role of maybe being a little bit slower, maybe having a little bit slow down reaction. It's just biology. So yeah, no, lightweight Ilya definitely would have chances better. But again, it's chances. Even if it becomes 30 against 70 or 40 against 60, you still have whole 30 to 40% of chances to win. That's not 1 or 2 or 0.1 chance. It's still significant. That means there are a lot of scenarios, but also a lot of risks to it. How to get it successfully. Do you have a single sister? No. I have two sisters. One is too small. she's a baby. Going to Las Vegas, Junior says. Oh, good for you. That's cool. I'm drinking, that's a hydration drink. By the way, well, speaking of the fighting, I'm also going to debut June 23rd. I'm going to debut here in Ho Chi Minh, Vietnam, aka Saigon, in a local promotion called Trigger Boxing. And they will do the lives in their YouTube. I will try to share the link and everything. But they're also going to be, I think they're going to give us recorded fight as well. At least that's how it was for our for my teammate who debuted on the previous event there. And he has his fight, and so I will
live stream it, you know?
we're gonna be able to live stream it like from the phone too, but I'm talking about like a good quality recorded fight. I think we're gonna upload it too, so people can rewatch in a better. But yeah, we can live stream vertical, just through my phone like this, like Chris or someone else. Like we can just there's gonna be a lot of people for us to help and be there. So. Hey, Nothingness Williams. Hi. What up? Just scrolling through. Yeah, just here, live streaming. This time a little bit more talks about fights. That, like the whole May is gonna be a lot of fights, a lot of both boxing and MMA slash UFC. So it's cool, very interesting. And hi Daniel. Morales versus Prades, who has the edge? In both cases, both of them have striker's chance, definitely. I wouldn't say that Prades doesn't have a chance. Size-wise, like, or reach-wise at least, they're close. But Morales he's such a weight bully. He's like pretty much like a Pereira for when he was in the middleweight. Like imagine now heavyweight Pereira fighting in the middleweight. When he beat up Strickland, for example, like that was so much bigger. That guy is similar vibes with Morales. He's just bigger and more dense and stuck up with the muscle and reach comparing to everyone else. And he might be how to say that? He may be young and experience-wise, he might not be there yet. And, there might be some disadvantages comparing to more experienced fighters in the division. But the guy is just a mutant. He has damaging knocking power, which means, again, he also can knock out Prades, I think, if he just connects. But the guy is also comes from the judo background, wrestling background, so he knows even his positioning. He tends to lean forward slightly. That is just because he's doing a takedown defenses quite efficiently, and well, he's also big. Try to take that guy on the ground and control him down there. And we know that Prades is not too keen on the wrestling. Yes, he's doing keys defense and stuff, but yeah, I think it's gonna stand more into a striking scenario. And yeah, Morales can, just because of his pure power and his greed, and if he's mentally keeps being just clean and focused the way he is so far, I don't know, man. I think he's the future champ of that division. Moicano. Well, Moicano said recently, he wants the money fights. He wants the good money fights. And that's fair. Yeah, Strickland versus Hamzat. Another interesting matchup this month in the May. Well, I pretty much believe so. But there is a little weird thing with Strickland. Like, Strickland is having maybe even like better than average takedown defense. He's like, if it manages that it lasts rounds, and he can fight championship rounds. He has that endurance for 25 minutes. So I see it that way. If Hamzat mouths him more in the beginning and just exhausts him or even finishes him by the middle of the fight, then obviously Hamzat takes it. But I think if it goes a little bit further, it's interesting. It's interesting to see how that would go. Another little, what I'm noticing with Hamzat is his injuries. And people might neglect it that, oh, if he's fighting, therefore he's all right. But again, injuries. Unfortunately, same problem with Merab. And Merab is always like, oh, that's okay. Broken nose, broken chin, it's fine. Well, it's not. If you're fighting against someone who can literally use that against you, that's not. So it also, I hope he doesn't have those injuries now bothering him on this fight. It's kind of controlled at this point. But other than that, I also lean towards Hamzat more as the most like scenario. But I expect that there is a chance for a surprise. Hi Starborn, welcome back. Strickland looking good, but against Hamzat, he does not have a chance. Again, pretty much agree. I think so. But I would not completely kill the chance of the kind of other way around surprise. Like in MMA, things happen. In a more controlled, safe scenario, yeah, Hamzat takes him to the ground. If he takes him to the ground, there's nothing. He's gonna just be on the ground, pretty much. And even striking-wise, Hamzat, it depends. Some fights, like with Burns and Osman, for example, he was way more. The fight was way more back and forth, but you also see Hamzat really, really going with his harder punches. So the guy can be very dangerous in striking too. But like with DDP, you saw he was pretty much taking him down and just hugging him and trying to wear him off. And DDP was like just fighting not to get submitted. And yeah, basically that's how he won his title fight. So it really, really depends what's the scenario. I don't think all of us want to watch only wrestling in the MMA fight. It's good. It would be good to see both and a variety. Merab is machine. Yeah, I've hand to my heart. That's not the heart. This is heart. Yeah, absolutely. And I think he has iron mentality, and I think that really helps. It's just you kind of need to support a little bit your health, and I hope. Now that time is going, he's just letting himself heal, recover, get on to the energy. Because, yeah, Petr Yan Merab trilogy is one of the things I think gonna sell very well in its anticipated fight. 100%. For Georgians, that's, well, Georgia against Russia, it's always the thing. And again, I always cheer for Merab. I hope he got this. Me versus Ilya, who wins? Friendship. That's how we like to say in Georgia, friendship wins. Yeah, no, Topuria. Yeah, Topuria is a beast. Even they just do a boxing sparring with him. I think he walks through pretty much all the decent boxers. The championship level is, well, it's another story. Gotta see how he might do that. He might move to boxing and have those money fights, but also maybe do it successfully with the right. With his MMA boxing, the way how he executes it, I think he can walk through a lot of decent, like higher than average level boxers even right now. What is your age? I'm 26 years old. I'm turning 26 in 3 days. Yeah, so 6th of May is my birthday coming up. Old, you're calling? Okay, we're past that joke. I'm old lady with a stick and getting my hair a little bit more messy and having peace and calmness and wisdom in my head. Will be great trilogy. Yeah, Warspawn. Welcome back, by the way. You were training like a beast yesterday. Thank you. Well, it's interesting because yesterday I saw some gaps, and again, there are certain things I'm always trying to learn from each and every my training. And I definitely feel my neck after I had 3 or 4 hard blows from a couple guys, and uh, like again, they're heavier and they're bigger. Like, you know what I mean? So I had to kind of stop and tell them, okay, go a little bit lighter, go speedy, go controlled, but not all of them can really control the punch. And that's okay, but that's not what I need. I don't want to or need to damage myself for preparation. That's not how it works. From the other hand, with someone who was there was one boy and he was younger, and well, coach actually told me to let him work, and he wants me to get more into guard defense and kind of punching back thing, which I will need for my preparation. So I kind of learned the assignment. I found a little mistake that I tend to do, and I think it's important to point out. When I'm on the far distance, which works against some situations, or when I'm off the range, and yeah, I can hop and I can wave, like let's say punch, dodge, dip, and then boom, boom. So I kind of, I can cut the distance forward quite well. I also do angle cuts, like I go throw the hand, even if it doesn't land, then I go rotation. So these things I trained quite efficiently, and it will be useful at the later part of the fight. But at the same time, sometimes what I do to get from the long distance to middle distance, or even just reach there, I start too far, and I do like in Noah and Nakatani fight pretty much. Like you see, they start fencing, the hand opens, you're open for that left hook. You don't want to get much of the left hooks on your face. So what happens, it's about the intention. Once I want to press and get there, and let's have an intention to go 1, 2, 3, like land those hard punches. Well, sometimes you use just a classic guard. So all of a sudden from this position, I just switch, move a little bit, maybe a little like head movement, but more compact. Even let them punch on the way, it's fine, as long as it's like, that's why we're doing a tight guard for Mexican style, like basically just boom, and then you go exchange, 1, 2, 3. So I pointed out that little mistake that I tend to do. Maybe I do it because I do against guys, and I'm always careful with the guys, whether they work lighter or harder, because they're bigger. Like I try to, go in, come out of the reach, and do that kind of work. Good for footwork, good for speed and agility. But again, sometimes you need to secure position. Not sometimes, very often in the fight, you secure the position with right defense, with right timing. But then you, like Benavides' fight was great for that. Like for example, how he was there, he was locked in, then he would go under, then he would press with the shoulder very often. And once he's there, closer, pretty much in a half clinch, boom, always heavy hook. Whether he would do that actually both sides, and a lot of times he would go just press from the right side, left hook. Like those kind of things are that what helps you to win the fight. So yeah, just wanted to point it out. So I'm seeing my mistakes there and try to take most of it. You're so young. I'm fine. Yeah, it's like, yeah, not too old. Thoughts on the GDM loss if I missed it? I think he was not recovered after Islam's loss anyways. And even stylistically, I think generally Prades was also a better fighter. Better skills when it comes to striking, reach advantage, more relaxed generally. Prades is also the guy who can take the punch, like he's not. And another little thing that people don't talk about, GDM's nose is completely broken. And when it's completely broken, it actually can tend to hurt. It creates the issues with the breathing and oxygen, basically oxygen getting to your brain. So again, unfortunately, same issue with Merab. So when you see people with nose like that, when you don't have enough oxygen coming to your system, when you have like a pain, every time you get punched, it just hurts more than average, like healthy nose. You know what I mean? Those little factors add up. So yeah, I felt sorry for him, but it was a lot psychological and physical injury factors for GDM to lose the way he lost. Okay. I can never spar a woman based on my morals and obviously strengths. I just get into the training sometimes. Fair enough. I mean, I don't blame anyone. I don't even force anyone to spar with me. The only thing is, actually, the boy from the other sparring, like yesterday's sparring session, I think coach told him to go in, and he was a little bit like what with the girl, and he's like, come in. Like he just told me, come in, do what you do, what I tell you to do, and it's fine. I understand that. Again, it's I don't think it's a negative thing for some guys to just not want to hit a woman. I think it's not a bad thing at all. But once I start working, especially someone that is my size, or closer to my size, I work technically. I can dodge punches. I can quickly respond, counter. So all of a sudden, their brain gets into a state. Okay, that's a boxer, and that's kind of how it works. So it's completely fine. And obviously, the bigger guys, who are significantly bigger than I am, they just work what they do. They work technically. They even throw speedy punches. They throw a lot of jabs, and they help me just to learn how to get closer in the range. And that's thanks to them. I actually really learned how to significantly cut that distance with all dodging and weaving and parrying and all that kind of stuff. So the ones who spar with me, there's some who just don't know how to control the punch, but they know that it's sparring. They wouldn't ever hit a woman. And there are guys who are so good at their control and they're so experienced that they're not hitting you even. They might land the punches, but it's more like boom, 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 just playing it. It's not really punching, if you know what I mean. At least in sparring. I'm also a fighter, man. Good for you. Okay, thank you. Well, I see you guys. Dricus has the same issue. Well, Dricus, I would not even compare GDM to Dricus, because Dricus is his mentality is tough. Even with Hamzat's fight, even Hamzat was in the end he is like a lion, because Hamzat tried to submit him, and once he actually in the end went a little loose, GDM, I don't know if you remember that part, but GDM ended up on the top, and he's still going. He was trying like a lion. He was trying to take that opportunity of the whole lost rounds to do something, and even Hamzat admitted himself. So they made that mistake in the end, which was safe. He'd listened to Arman Turkan in his corner and his team, and well, it was safe, smart strategy. Was it the most entertaining? No, but it was safe and controlled. But GDM was not anything near to be defeated. He was more like, he would get takedown. Definitely his takedown defense was not ready for Hamzat at all, especially in the later rounds when he's tired and just get in. But he survived crucifix. He survived pretty much everything. And he would get all the shots, but smaller shots from the crucifix position. And basically, those were not the most damaging, but he would weave, he would tap under, he would try to move. And again, that didn't look good, but it also says a lot about his mentality. He is not a weakling, that's for sure. And I think whoever is going to be next, I think he's going to do quite well. But that's the thing, how you both Makhachev's and Chimaev's wrestling is probably top tier, top level wrestling up there. Only BJJ is not enough for it. The only thing you can is follow Tupuria's example and just train separately wrestling, and learn how to do a proper wrestling as much as it's possible. GSP was actually a good example of it. GSP really learned how to wrestle throughout his MMA career, and well, that helped him to acquire his GOAT status. Do both boxing and sword fighting, sis? Yeah, both good. The breathing is important factor. Yes, I'm good at pacing, setting my pace, and with moving a lot and not over-committing when I don't have to, because every time my opponent tries to initiate a contact, it doesn't mean that I have to, I shouldn't stand there with a guard unless I'm ready to respond and know that I'm gonna punish them for that attempt. Other times, it's just get out of the range, let them just throw those hands, don't be relaxed kind of thing. And it's part of the pacing. 2 minutes each round for women, 4 rounds total. So you kind of have a strategy gradually where you need to put the fight into, right? Which dynamic you need to create. But also endurance, you need explosive, like interval endurance, which is you train sprints, you train interval cardio, you train burnouts on the boxing bag. Because what you need to be able to do, you go light, but then you do boom, boom, boom. Have you seen, again, Benavides versus Ramirez just like a few hours ago? That was a good example of it. And those guys are cruiserweights. Benavides would push in, go harder blows, go body, like he would go harder blows, go in, rich, like good defense. But then at some point when he had a good moment, he would do, like he would go like fast, 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are not too heavy punches because it's just too speedy. But are they heavy enough to really impact a person? Of course, because imagine someone, even with their 30-40%, like 4, 5, 6 punches landing to your head like that and then retreat. That's why, that's kind of the thing. You need to learn how to not to get tired out of those outbursts. Okay. Hamzat is a boring hugger. I wouldn't call it, again, it's a slang and stuff. Yeah, it's a wrestling, and even when it's, with DDP at least. Some of his other fights are not bad at all, but with DDP, it was literally wrestling, but even that wrestling was it was no risk whatsoever. He was just on the top in a controlling position, holding him down. That's what was it. You can have wrestling match, like, again, one that comes to my mind is Islam Makhachev versus Arman Tsarukyan, that fight they had. It was a lot of wrestling, there was some striking too, but that wrestling was entertaining. It was entertaining because they would like move around, trying to get each other's backs, take takedowns. It was constant movement, a lot of attempts of the submission. So many towns. Is there a date for next bout for you that you have? 26th of June, and that's gonna be my debut. Yeah, I've been around boxing for longer than that, but that's gonna be my official professional boxing debut, and very excited about it. And yeah, just showing the preparation, the journey right now. And it's cool to have a scheduled fight because it's not just a vague training. Like before, I would train generally. Closer distance, guard manipulation, parrying, certain combos that work, timing, switching the strategy mid-fight, like how it's important to be fluid, switching stances. That's what I'm learning. I do some of the southpaw, and I have some setup southpaw combos where I'm not the southpaw, but I can switch and I can go and do that and execute it well. But at the same time, now it's like I know who's my opponent, and it's more like a tailored preparation, like a step by step, each day getting closer to the fight, which is very exciting. I think Dricus would do better in the rematch. I can imagine he has high-level grapplers in the South Africa. However, just my opinion, again, if he trains wrestling, we don't know. I haven't seen him much showing, like unlike Ian Gary, who said he came to Georgia, then he's like training wrestling or stuff like that. Dricus du Plessis doesn't really show what he's doing right now. I just see some ads, sometimes some of the stories he uploads, but nothing when it comes regarding his training. If he does, and well, again, it's really gonna show his rather like some traits of the character if he does. If he does train, that means he's flexible. He knows exactly what his mistake was, what he was lacking, and he's gonna just come up with the crazy wrestling style that is like DDP style that actually counters any other wrestling. Imagine that, because he pretty much did it with his style. But also if he is still rejecting, like having that resistance that, I don't need wrestling specifically, I just need to do this and do only takedown defense improvement, well, that means that he might be a little bit stubborn and not accepting the reality. I think that guy has the mentality and potential to be a great champion and make a great comeback. It just really, really depends of his on his training and his camp's decisions. Yeah. Okay. Well, some talks here in the chat. Good. You're welcome. Many thanks. How to make your spine back strong? Let me show you my back a little bit. So, my back really got shredded with the training and the combination of some strength training separately with the gym, in the gym, and specific boxing training. Like with the boxing, so what happens? Your chest contracts when you throw the punch. Your back, your lats and traps contract when they pull back the punch. So if you, for example, throw a punch and you drop it, very important. If you just throw a punch and lazily drop it, your back is not really doing its job. If you throw and boom, boom, like you can even feel the shoulder blades pulling that moment. And you can really see on the person's back, I would say, not obvious and not like 100% what they're doing, but if you see those like a boxing style lats, you will see that that person's back is strong specifically to compete on a high level on the boxing. When it comes to just getting stronger, there's specific weight training. I would take the best exercise is pull-ups. Basically, it's your body weight. It's part of the calisthenic training, and you can do a lot of things. You can do, let's say, just even take your pull-up, always less than 5 repetitions. Bigger amounts of rest. There's different methods like grease and groove or just a classic strength training. But the point is, you don't train your muscle, you train your neural stimulus. So CNS is getting involved, and you basically build the habit, the skill of strength. So strength is a skill, and it's good type of training. It doesn't really interfere negatively with fighting training. It actually complements it. You can do those sets even during the training. When you go, like, let's say heavy back, you have intervals. You finish that interval, do those few pull-ups. Let's say I can do 5 pull-ups. Well, I can do 2 without, like, I don't have to do maximum. I go like 60-70% of it. If I can do way more, well, let me grab my put some vest on the top or like extra weight, and I do the same approach. Full contraction and extension. No cheating, no picking, or like no CrossFit type of pull-ups, but talking strict pull-ups. That really gonna make your back stronger. Also your biceps and some other smaller groups of muscle that get involved. See, tomorrow we'll be in touch. Great. Thoughts on possible fights between Ryan Garcia and Conor Ben? Oh man, Garcia is a little bit unpredictable with his mentality and temper sometimes, but I think he's very, very blessed with Mario Barrios. He showed that he is elite. Like he showed his elite boxing level, and just because he's doing live streams and like doing some fun home sparrings with some of his friends, I think people took him too much of the more like a streamer than a boxer. But again, with the right training, people can be anything. People can be doctors and mixed martial artists, and can be a streamer and a very good boxer. So yeah, that guy definitely has it. And I think he, on the skill level, I think he has an edge over the Conor Ben. But his mentality is something that, again, you don't know how, like right now he's all about the God and he has faith. He seems to be more stronger with his states, his mental state. But again, it's Ryan Garcia. You don't know. Yeah, Islam vs. Arman match was pretty entertaining. Priests tell workouts on mastering jab. right technique, and use heavy bag, mitts if someone can hold you, and that's pretty much it. And I would say mirror work or shadow boxing, maybe slower pace. Just do it. Just do it. Do it. Do it. What?
Step on your jabs.
Step on your jabs. What do you mean exactly?
Step on your jabs, like put your foot down on your jabbing. Step on it.
Ah, you mean like a shuttle? Yeah, like when you I know harder jabs. You mean
Step, like people don't realize, like it's just you do a small step synchronized with your punch.
Okay, that's what you're. So that's called shuttle then. That's step on it or shuttle with the jab. That also helps to cut distance. But again, train different jabs. You have a jab that you go backwards very often. That's a boxing jab. You retreat actually, and on the way out you leave that jab. I do that a lot. So I would do like combo, and I would just leave that punch. And very often, if person keeps coming at me, that it lands perfectly while I retreat. Train hard jabs, which is like boom. A little bit with a rotation. Go stomach, go head. Just do that boring stuff. Well, it's not necessarily boring to me, but it's not as entertaining as go and spar and, jump around. But this is basics. If you want to have a good solid jabs, you really need to train it. I think heavy bag is most available thing to do. And you do literally teach your body, your foot, your hip rotation, how it goes. You teach the technique, teach yourself the technique that helps you to transmit that impulse. So if you watch some of the higher level fights, boxing fights, you see them, it's not the lazy jabs. It's not like, okay. It's like, and you can hear it from the ring. It's like, boom. That's kind of the jabs you need to train. And you train it through the movement. It's like with jumping. You want to learn how to jump high? You need to do the jumps. Even if you do some other exercises that help you you still need to do that specific movement and practice it repetitively. I realized going to bed at the same time as specifically having it already set before you fight. To have good rest is so important. I made this mistake before my last fight and felt 20% slower. Yes. Especially as the woman, I take my rest very, very importantly. I encourage to do it for everyone, but to be honest, even with because I spar with mostly guys, and again, sometimes I get like last sparring, as the word spawn mentioned, that worked well. Well, I was under the pressure. Guys, a couple guys of those worked hard on me. They really did, and I even had to kind of ask the coach to tell them to weigh down a little bit. Not because I'm weak, but I don't want a brain damage. I don't want a resistance in my brain. So I get in fearing that, that's heavy blow gonna come in. That's not the point. I need to keep training my instinct. And again, it's fun. Like when someone my weight, even when guys my weight punch me, it's okay. I can endure it way better. And so I'm gonna be fine with the woman of my size. But recovery, when I'm saying is, I always, even on the sparrings, unless it's certain tasks I need to train, like outbursts and really, really commit into some of the combos, I actually really move a lot. I try to pace myself. I don't throw too hard of the punches. And sometimes you guys are like, oh, punch me. So I rather go faster, but I don't go too hard, because no matter how hard I punch, it's not about that. I cannot hurt them anyways or stop them. And overcommitting, I don't want to get used to overcommitting the punches, because again, you want to learn how to do impulse and have it hard enough, whether to overcommit and start exhausting your body. And I tell them that I'm not punching like that, not because of you, but because of me, because I need to pace myself. I need to have a right timeline to do those outbursts, right? And when I'm tired, like I would do in a fight, I would actually take a little moment. Like I'm rather more comfortable moving on my feet. So some people say, oh, you're gonna get tired. Well, I train myself to not really get tired on the movement. And it's good. Sometimes you take that moment off, and instead of just sitting there and not knowing where to go, you just get off the range and you just shake your hands off a little bit. You show like you're resetting, but in reality, you also rest a little bit. You recover pretty much. So yeah, and again, recovery is off of it, of the training. Absolutely, it's very important for both men and women. Oh, Nadab, you cool as fuck. I like a lot. Uh, your dude is also super. Oh, yeah, my husband is super nice. Much respect to you and your people, and yeah, the audience. Thank you very much. Respect to you as well, and welcome to the community. Much love to you all for real. Thanks, appreciate it, Woozy. And yeah, Chris is my husband is here in the chat. And please don't spam. I already said about mastering jab workout, so I always read through the stuff. Just wait a little bit. Go to go, but I love your channel and the family you made here, you and Chris. Much love and blessings to you all. Ciao. Well, have a good one. Thank you for this words, Starborn. You know Dana White. Who doesn't? Diana White. Thanks, Chris. Great to hear you guys are covering all the bases. I'm so excited for the debut. Inspiring to say the least. Yeah, and thank you very much. It's exciting to kind of do the way we're doing it and the way it comes with the live stream, showing the journey as an average person who does things and just preparing. I believe that everyone has the potential, and for people who want to start fighting, I absolutely encourage that, but also I like showing a little bit maybe nuanced thinking to it, because it helps. I think it helps no matter what you do in your life. Delving down into the nuance and understanding something that maybe others overlook is very important. I'm a school student. How much time sleep and training is important? Well, sleep at least 8 hours for an adult is great. Sometimes your body wants more, and that like you might have a sleep debt. So again, always try to sleep within 24 hours and let yourself, let's say if you have a tight schedule, school, studying, and you sleep 5-6 hours, you manage to sleep a night. Good to have a device that counts it approximately. Then you need to do your best to sleep through over a weekend. So you let's say you have night shifts. Yeah, you might sleep not very well one night, but then you have 2 nights off, rest. Don't go drinking all the time and just having don't neglect that sleep, because sleep debt accumulation is a real thing.
If you have any sort of tool for measuring sleep, like a Garmin watch or Apple Watch or the fitness bands and all that kind of stuff, try to zoom out and look at how you're sleeping average per week and per month.
Yeah, that's a good advice from Chris. Did you use the microphone? Another mic?
No.
Okay. I think they could hear you. A biceps flex. That's fine. My biceps are not that impressive. I think my shoulders are more, like you see the chest, the shoulders are quite prominent. Yeah, sleep is the most important, I would say, because you exhaust your body in training and you need time to repair. It's also, it gets released at the time, so sleep early and wake after 9 hours. Yeah, 8-9 hours, and again, sometimes your body needs more, and that's fine. So you need to really have a good quality of sleep. I'm just massaging my neck because, as I said, my neck, literal muscles are hurting after yesterday. But the main thing, sleep, everything's downstream from the sleep, good, bad. Yeah, absolutely. Just drinking some wine. Well, enjoy. Rocky says, I'm your new subscriber. Thank you. That's very great. Appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, it's again good month, a lot of UFC and boxing events in the world arena. My boxing debut is going to be the 23rd of June, so a lot of preparation, content, live streams, Q&As that I will do when I have a free time. Uh, I will do some other like I do lives on YouTube, but also on Instagram. I'll do some Q&As, more like a written Q&As through the story. So I'll try to be more active on basically communicating with people and sharing the parts of the journey.
What's your thoughts on India versus Malta?
Uh, yeah. Okay. So I watched the fight, and well, first 5-6 rounds felt like sparring session, like two guys just sparring. A lot of times you can see that fencing style boxing in the gyms, you know, when people just do a training sparring. And again, it's a certain style. I think they have similar styles, and it was also orthodox to southpaw foot positioning. Wasn't too much of the footwork, except in the moments when it was a cool outburst. There were some cool exchanges, especially in the later rounds. In the later rounds, it was more, both of them had good moments of wrecking up each other a little bit. Then was they head butted each other. That wasn't good for, it's actually, I think it's Nakatani or Natakani. Oh, okay. I call him Nakatani, so correct me if I'm wrong, but that's how I remember his surname. And it almost felt that they were also, it's like they dominated their weight class. This weight class is also probably not the most stacked, so it's interesting to see what Inoue, for example, would do in a heavier weight class. If we stepped up a little bit up and see what he would do with a new competition. But other than that, it also feels like this style goes very well with more like boxers who are just stepped in and not moving much. But when it's two similar type of boxers, it almost becomes like, oh, who's gonna counter first? In the beginning, it really felt that way. Then again, second part of the fight was more engaging, exchanging. It took last 1 or 2 rounds. Nakatani started, I think he just started taking advantage of taking the initiative too late. Other than that, if he started too earlier, or it was pretty much even from the beginning, I think it could be a draw. But in this case, I heard a couple of people saying that Inoue lost, but he didn't. He didn't. He was more initiative. He has that little edge on the points. He was ending the encounters more often. Well, there's such a thing as you go in, and let's say you punch this one thing, and then the opponent's response was 3 punches, and then you go again and you respond more, right? And you land those punches. Like this is what I mean when I say he was finishing up more encounters than Nakatani. And there was a moment when he also started, Nakatani started working more on the range, and I'm a little bit surprised why he didn't do that before in the more, like, because he had that reach and height advantage, and I think he could do that. But again, sometimes you just lock into that one style against another boxer who is similar style, and again, it's just how it goes. Essentially, it was okay technical fight, but to be honest, to say that it was very entertaining, the exchanges were crazy, except for the moments. Again, watch Benavides versus Ramirez. Like, that fight was technical. They had heavier exchanges. They had the more distant, good defense demonstration. I think both were doing well in the beginning, but again, the Benavides started taking that small advantages, using his speed, using his superior timing, and not even timing, but setup for the timing. So a lot of like going from jab, wave, then guard up, then he would push, or like, let's say, go in, fall into the close distance. Very often he would push, and then always there would be right or left hook, depending the side he would push on, right here, like basically using it as the as the pushing mechanism, and boom. I like doing that too, and I was like, okay, I kind of made some notes from that fight. That was way better fight, if you tell me. And yeah, I know it's the lighter weight class, and there are more movement. Again, footwork wise, can't say anything. Quite a wide stance also, and it's very interesting. I know myself that once wide stance can be helpful in some situations, but if you stand like that for too long, what happens? Your gluteus medius of the posterior leg gets too tight. I developed my chronic tension. In the orthodox, I pretty much cannot do that for long anymore because it just starts hurting. But if it doesn't hurt, even in that case, it starts getting too tight. And what happens? You kind of get stuck in that. Yeah, you have certain range you execute, but you don't really move freely in all directions. So that triangle, when it's too widened, yeah, it gives you quite good stability, but at the same time, if you get stuck into it, again, it limits your movement to a certain extent. As much, I don't know if you're gonna, if I make sense right now the way I say it, but I am, for example, I like changing stances. Sometimes go wider, fine, when you're like doing this style. Then go on foot cross and just do more like a shift, for example, which takes a little bit closer foot positioning. And yeah, I think resetting your feet position is good long term for the fight too. Yeah, it goes tight and stiff. Any favorite male and female boxers? So they're like the more I watch and learn about boxing, and sometimes I discover some other legends that I haven't known about, which is, I'm not too old to know all the boxers, and sometimes some of the boxing is a history to me. I would point out, obviously, you have Tyson, you have one of my personal favorites is actually Tyson's predecessor is Floyd Patterson, D'Amato's first student. Jose Torres was also a Renaissance man, so like I like those both people. If we take purely boxing and like just being legendary, Manny Pacquiao, Roy Jones Jr., Bernard Hopkins. But then you have boxers like one of the best jabs, like Larry Holmes, for example, or you have four kings, and it's hard to pick like Hagler, Hearns, and by the way, Hearns was on the Benavides versus Ramirez fight. He looked good. Legend is in his own right. And then you have like Sugar Ray and Duran fighting the giants, and very often just taking. So. And then you have Sugar Ray Robinson, like also like I haven't dug out all the boxing history, or like as I said, like there's some I discovered. One of my favorites is Joe Calzaghe. He beat both Roy Jones Jr. and Bernard Hopkins, and he was overlooked because he was from the UK, like for American boxing scene, he's been overlooked, but in reality, I think he's been one of the most complete boxer when it comes to the volume and pace and just keeping that. Out of the modern boxers, again, Terence Crawford, Usyk, Bivol, like those, the Canelo, definitely a legend. He's not undefeated, but again, then you have Triple G. Again, he lost against Canelo, but not really. At least not, in my opinion, one of the fights he was robbed, and the one that was draw also arguably could be given to him. Vasily Lomachenko, one of the boxers I've been really studying and using as an inspiration for for the shifts and the rotation he's executing, and Crawford is the one who has been watching more of the fluidity and his adaptability and IQ towards each and every style. I got inspired to start training the switch stance because of him. Women, out of women. So you see how I ranted answer I gave? I'm sorry for that, but it's like, it's just hard to say, oh, just one person. I just almost said like quite a few boxers that I love, and I didn't mention all of them. Out of women, I like Katie Taylor, probably one of the like, I think she's a great technician. I think she's by the way, has a Georgian coach. Clarissa she'll do it, but again, right now she's in a weight class, which is, I don't think there's much competition. But yet he's like a 5 weight class champion. She holds belt in 5 different weight classes. So you definitely status-wise, you gave her a gold status, and she's definitely the punching volume, the good timing. She definitely has it, and she's relentless. Like, she doesn't. Back off. Not a high rate of knockouts, but again, she's a goat in her own right. Out of all, I think Ann Wolfe was scary. Like, as a female boxer, Ann Wolfe, like Layla Ali and others at that time. Like, if you see some of the Ann Wolfe's knockouts, it's quite rare to see a woman like Tyson built, like, do overhand and just knock you out flat. And out of the new ones, Caroline Dubois, I think, is very, very good. I really like to. She has the power. She has the good build and style, and just interesting to keep seeing her journey. Okay, sorry for ranting, but that was a hard question. Sometimes I don't even respond to it. I just say that, oh, it's too many. Okay. Damn, your biceps and shoulders are crazy pump. I mean, yeah, it's like when I just sit like this, it's fine. But when I really, push. Oh, dear God, thanks. My husband is so much bigger than I am. So comparing to him, it's not really it's not that impressive. The Japanese young boss, again, definitely has a good skill, great footwork, just an instinct. But there are certain things that, like, again, I don't think he has a very good of defense. And both him and Nakatani would do fencing, and very often they parry first punch. Let's say it's jab, another jab flies in, they parry, and then the cross comes in and it lands. So if you see some of the fragments of it, yeah, those might not be very power punches, but it's a little, that means there is the, again, I would say the guard defense is not executed enough, in my opinion, on his side. But again, who am I to judge in the sense, I'm just talking stylistically. For every and each boxer, the achievements also say the word. And again, yeah, you can look at their record, who they fought, was it rigged? There are some boxers whose records are. I'm not gonna be hesitant. I'll bring up Ben Whittaker, one of the current ones. He's shown like another Prince Nassim Hamed. In reality, if you look at his fight, all these movements he's done against a lot of journeymen. And once he met Leon Cameron, first fight, Leon Cameron was winning with a decent, solid boxing. And Whittaker started crumbling. That's the moment when they got viral, when they fell off the ring together. And they stopped it. They didn't count that fifth round, and they did draw or non-contest, or I don't remember exactly what they did with it. And then on the rematch, it was so rigged. Referee. It was so bought off that it's not even funny, right? So it really depends. But I'm talking about, like, Inoue is definitely, he won his fights in his weight class. When they're comparing him to Pacquiao as the best boxers coming from the Asia or like East Asia, Pacquiao is a legend. He fought in the 8 weight classes, the champion of the 8 different weight classes. He did. He faced some monsters. He faced others when he was injured, and sometimes he still won. Like, that man was. I don't think it's fair to compare Inoue at this point when he just being in his one weight class. David Benavides did a great performance. Like, I loved that fight. Okay. So yeah, Amanda Serrano, I should have pointed her out with Katie Taylor. Amanda Serrano is a warrior. And she, if you look at her records, higher than average females record. She has like a 40 something wins. That's crazy. No matter who you fight, it's meaning that you step on the professional ring 45 times throughout your career, and you really put everything. She is definitely tough. But again, she might not be the most on the technical level. She's definitely not low at that level. You have technique, you have timing, you have like you have all of it a little bit. But again, against Katie Taylor, there was one fight that was controversial. I can say that Amanda won. I think, but I always keep forgetting there's like 3 fights, and which one was rather first or second one. But the last one, Katie won it clearly. And again, she basically just outboxed her. There's such a thing as outboxing a person. Name is Brad from Montana, currently creating my own card game called Smackers. Coffee boost, attack, sandwiches, pastels. Well, it sounds interesting. Feel free to share more. I will support you. Thank you. Where is Chris? Where is Chris?
I'm in the background.
BMCK is asking where is Chris?
My BMCK, I do.
He's here. He's awake. Did you ever watch TV show Santa? I never watched the show, but I watched the highlights, like Facebook shorts or Instagram shorts. I stumbled upon it. Oh, hi Red, hi Chance, Cuddle. You got Nate Diaz or Mike Perry, Gina or Ronda, respectfully. Oh, that's a little bit. All of them are out of their prime, and this is more of like a nostalgia fights, again, respectfully. I cannot tell, again, I haven't followed on their preparation, especially Nate Diaz and Mike Perry. I haven't seen their preparation, who is potentially better prepared, but I would pick Nate Diaz. I just love Diaz. I just... Surprise, motherfuckers. He's just a meme icon, whatever. He's great. And that guy always would put up the fight. So he's definitely the fighter. So yeah, Nate Diaz, I would cheer for. And I would like Gina to win, but again, Ronda seems to be more, and I think it's tailored for Ronda quite well. She's probably gonna do his nostalgia style, which is like armbar, takedown, like judo move, and doing like her signature armbar, essentially, something like that. I hope it actually gets more like a real fight, and you see it's going longer. But again, you know, it's almost feels like a little hype for. So Gina is used more here as the name. That's the fight where they wanted to make 10 years ago, but now it's finally happening, kind of thing. But again, it's, as I said, those are nostalgia fights. I heard that voice. Oh, good. Not my next fight, my first fight, my debut will be 23rd of June. And looking forward for it. Sup, lady? I thought you were a graduate by seeing you for the first time. Graduate? Fun fact, I never I don't have university education. I'm certified coach through the IBF certification back in Georgia, Bodybuilding Fitness Federation. And yeah, since then I've been coaching. I got some Grey's Anatomy, like online course, and I've been doing some qualification races. And I actually do online training, but right now I have like a set of clients that I'm working. Just those are people that I've been training for years and guiding for years. I do now some. I actually have a couple commissions getting ready with my paintings. I don't know if you know, but I also do art. And that's it. Now the main priority is preparing for my first boxing fight. Less Diana, more Chris. Ouch, that hurt. Well, just joking. I wish Chris appeared more, but can you force him? No, you can't. Chris got a different fan club in the chat. Well, that's true. Only Chris fan club. Oh, you really now you're really roasting me, Jenny. Like they're literally dissing me on my own channel. Boo. Only Chris.
Hashtag only Chris.
Hashtag only Chris. Baby, come on in, say hi.
No.
No. That's the reason why there is hashtag only Chris, because he's so intouchable. He just says no. He just says no. I'm not gonna appear on camera. An arm wrestling match with you, probably if we take power slap, then bare knuckle, and after that is probably arm wrestling. Out of the sports that I just despise. Well, I don't despise arm wrestling. I respect arm wrestlers, but it's such a isolated sport, I would say, when it comes to the body parts. There might be some technique, there's some strengths to it, but again, it's not very functional. So yeah, basically not a fan of the arm wrestling. And boxers don't do arm wrestling. That would be stupid. Rocky says, your voice is addictive. Love the way you're talking confidently on live. I just imagine I'm talking to my friends and my clients and my everyone. Like I'm just talkative person. At least when I explain things and when I talk about things like that. Hey Nayan Mitra, good to see you. Welcome back. Train hard, best wishes, knockout in every punch. Thank you. Yeah, gotta show some harder punches. Yeah, boxers don't do arm wrestling. Wise words. I'm definitely not risking my elbows and my tendons for it. Okay, I'm gonna pin this one. Team only Diana or team only Chris? I didn't start that. Chris says that. Okay, Ninja, you're enjoying you're opening another bottle. Only bold. Oh man, so funny. We're both bald. I know what that means. I'm not gonna leave any comments to it. Timas Mashiron, you're bald too. Team Baldies. Matt is bald too. He's not here now, but yeah, Matt is also bald. Oh, Shogun the Master. Hello. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. What an appearance. Greetings. Granny Bazooka, hashtag. That was a reference to me. Yeah, I know I'm turning 26. Maybe I should take it as my walkout name, Granny Bazooka. And it's time. The challenger, Granny Bazooka versus, I don't know, who do we have as the world champion? Fandura probably will hold there up in the division. It's a dumb song in America. Okay. I know quite some American songs, but not that one. 27, we're getting there. Yep. I don't mind. I'm gonna be the most hilarious granny that you ever see. Granny Bazooka sounds tough though. By the way, I'm not sure about for this debut. I haven't seen like a music and on the background on the walkouts. But further down the line, I would probably gonna choose more. And well, I like there are a lot of cool music that can be like Entertainment, a lot of AC/DC. But in my head, Hell's Bells by AC/DC is like the when it starts with bells and like that music intro. Like it gives me so much the vibe that I feel for the before boxing. So I don't know. What do you think? Let's brainstorm, even though it doesn't matter much right now. Let's give some suggestions. Maybe I listen to some other songs you point out. Or what do you think about Hell's Bells as the walkout song? Feeling lowest and depressed since 1 week. I have been training intensely in sprinting, like training and calisthenics. What are the suggestions in my training? Well, all of those are great, but you're feeling lowest and depressed. Maybe the fact that you train, that means you're probably doing like you've been generally active, and you probably help yourself with nutrition. If you do sleep as well, if you do all of those things, you probably are getting a little bit too hard on yourself. You overtrain and you don't recover much. If your sleep is not good enough and everything else is okay, well, that means nothing is okay. So slow down and relax, especially sprinting. And you say leg training separately, and calisthenics. That some of the calisthenics involve a lot of it's upper body, but it involves a lot of lower body tough training. You target it too much. You need, just for sprints, you need an impact and recovery to actually develop good explosivity and speed and power for sprinting. Rather than training every day, go hard on yourself, you actually do it a couple times a week and recover enough. That's going to be more efficient. So look at that way. Look at it that way. Chris's stage name, Tiny Tim. What's?
Does the old lady want some potatoes?
Yeah, I need some breakfast. Well, I also. Oh, we might also go to the pool thing. The Daniel responded. He says that's all free. So maybe 3-4 we go to. Okay. What about the hair you have? Well, I need to upgrade it. You see, this is my real color. I don't know if you see it, but it's like a ash brown. And yeah, I'm going to my hairdresser friend and my hairdresser in a couple days. Parkour. Well, parkour is cool, but injury, high risks of injury, almost no reward. You like Rocky Feel songs? Yes, but it's like almost like everyone does that, or a lot of people does that. As I said, like I want to have something a little bit unique.
Wear my pink underwear to the pool, baby.
Yes, baby, you should. That's what she said. It's my husband. You're beautiful in and out. Thank you, and you seem to be nice and great as well. Crazy. I did ask Jimmy for like a ninja word up sponsoring me. I mean, you know what? Like, there is I do one of the little side hustle, which is karaoke hosting. I live stream it sometimes in the Red Buffalo Sports Bar here in Trang. The owners are Americans actually, but the husband is like an American Vietnamese Cantonese, and he actually even mentioned, "Oh, I would sponsor you." First fight, let me just do it successfully, and I think maybe then we can. There can be opportunities for it. Why not? Chris is a speedo. LOL. It's actually our teammate is leaving the city, going back to Belarus, and we just want to do like a goodbye party. Not the party, but just the pool gathering. We don't, neither of us drink, so which is cool. Walk Out Nothing Remains by Chimera. The song gets me ready for the war. Okay, well, I'll screenshot it. Let's see. Oh, shit. Okay, I'll screenshot it.
Show BMCK all my pink underwear, so it's happy.
Okay. Okay, here, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just stopping in along this live stream right now, there's the underwear show off. By the way, this is my husband's underwear. This is how how big it is. Like my head is smaller than his leg, but he's quad size. You see? And they're like 1, 2, 3, and we have some in the laundry. So you see, they're the pink.
I'm wearing.
Yeah, okay, there's 4 Chris is wearing. So the pink underwear thing is a real thing. It's not a legend. It's true.
Baby, I have 6 pairs of pink underwear, 1 for each day of the week. And then on Sundays I go commando.
Yeah, you heard that. 6 days a week, pink underwear, and the Sunday is a laundry day, and commando for Chris. I love that you enjoyed BMCK. Confident man, the most confident man you will ever meet. Okay, yeah, funny. It's good jokes. But yeah, I'm gonna keep a little bit, like I'll do a few more minutes, guys, and I'm gonna wrap it up because again, we might start getting ready for the little pool thing. And it's Sunday, good for rest. Again, good to rest my neck because trust me, guys, I had a heavy session yesterday. It wasn't a big live stream, not that many people watched, but some of you watched it, and it was rough. And it's funny because again, I didn't feel my best, and there were some some moments when I was like, okay, like I was more defensive, which nothing wrong. In the sparrings, you just need to train, and sometimes you do that way, this way, and you need to never take your sparring experience especially with someone who's bigger or taller, bigger reach, because in the sparring sessions, you sometimes don't have your exact matching weight class and gender, which in my case, I don't. So it's okay, never translate it into, oh, I'm not gonna do well in fight. That's not the case. Actually, the more you challenge yourself, you learn from your mistakes, you do the thing. And that's the thing, when I rewatched my live stream, that's one of the ways how the live streams really helped me. I rewatched it and I looked so much better. I really looked so much better, and my defense was okay, and there are a lot of punches that I actually dodged and weaved, and the footwork control was good. So it wasn't bad at all. It's just, again, that was winning a fight. There is a certain strategy to it, and it involves more pressure. Sometimes it's just, and learning how to have different setups in different situations to put yourself in that position. That's kind of the goal. And the sparrings, technical sparrings, are for that, to just learn different things. I will never forget that my entire life. You're welcome. Always check. Yes. Only pink Chris. Baby, hashtag only pink Chris. Creative hashtag. Yes, Pranav, that's a good one. So you guys have a good gathering today. Bless up. Thank you, Mao. Have a good one as well. But yeah, okay, gonna wrap it up now. Thank you very much. Hope you're doing well. And okay, how did you and your husband meet? Right before I'm trying to wrap up the live stream, we met back in Georgia. We actually met from the dating app called Bumble. But we don't like Bumble too much, like Bubble, I mean. So we just, he asked me out. That was in very confident, manly manner, and I appreciated it. And since then, we dated in the beginning, like we met, talked a lot about a lot of things. It was very, very unorthodox. no classic book romance. It was definitely, I was passing my military test during the period we met, and I remember I was reporting to Chris that, oh, I went all 2 days with all the special forces reading training, and I passed it finally on the third attempt, and I got all the positive feedback for courage and for helping my teammates, not only going for myself. And I remember that was our communication. It was not only, again, not a classic book romance. And I think we moved in, so he invited me to Cyprus. I think it was after 2-3 months of um, meeting each other. Then I kind of partially moved into his place as well. So I would spend some time to, like, let's say out of the 2 weeks, I would spend a week with Chris at his place. And once he got sick, and he pretended to be more sick than he was, to test if I was caring person, and I went and took care of him, and I also saw that he's very a lot of positives and a lot of acceptance from his side. Fun fact, like, I'm coming from the Georgian family that if you break something, they're like, you just curse your ancestors and like everything. So it's like, at that point I was used to that, and even though I detached from it quite like at that point, but that's kind of was the pattern. So when he was sick, he went to shower, I cleaned up everything, like changed sheets for him. And the last thing, I take that blanket that I put into the shit, do this, it wraps around the chandelier, and I just smack down the whole ass chandelier. And it's in his place, in like hotel or Airbnb, and I'm like, and I look at him. He comes out at that moment, and he's like, oh, don't worry, you're just trying to do good, like, I'll take care of it, it's fine. And that was the first thing, first treated by, I didn't have negative experiences with people outside, but in my family, someone like you, anyways, that was like one of the few cases that's like, it's okay, it's not a big deal, because I didn't want to do it, just was an accident, because I can get clumsy sometimes. And then we went to Cyprus for like a vacation, and since after that we moved in. We've been inseparable for 4 years now, and there may be less than 15 days total when we were separated. Once it was I had a military study and I was on the military base. I'm not a military person, but I was within a certain program and group of people who got accepted as civilians into that military study. So I was away for 5 days, and then Chris was away for 3 days on the bachelor's, I think last year. So yeah, like we almost haven't been separated at all. That's how we met, and that's how we've been together so far. I'm in the kitchen in my pink underwear, cooking, thinking of you being sick. I know. Let's see that pink speedo. Yeah, once he even there, you missed that one, right? But like Chris once showed off his underwear on the live stream. Hello, you're pretty. Thank you. On the 7th day, we free balled. You know it. It has become hard to get women in the person. It seems to all I want to me. Well, it's in his case. Here it goes. Here it comes. He does that. He does that to my online clients too. Sometimes like a train, and he just starts doing this, and everyone has a blast. But yeah, no, anyways, it depends where you are. Like Chris was new in Georgia pretty much, and obviously he would use, he learned how to use dating websites quite well to meet the people. He actually decided at that point, after his crash and coma, he was a wingsuit base jumper, like he went through quite a hell beforehand, and then he moved to Georgia from Bulgaria at that point. So he was looking for a partner. That was his decision, and that was his way.
I got used to being tortured, so I wanted to torture myself some more.
Anyways, the point is, everyone their own way. There are different ways. I think real encounters are better. And if you do online, if you meet someone online, just make sure that you just meet straight away. If there's someone in the same city, no long distance
the rules
nonsense.
are very simple.
Yeah,
Within
Chris, tell us.
5 to 7 messages, get them off of the Tinder or the Bumble or Hinge or whatever it is. And within 10 messages, you should already ask them out.
Yeah. If you use
If they're not interested after 15 messages, you just move to the next one. You have to take into consideration that like a huge number of women are just using these dating sites as like a validation tool
That's
for
true.
their insecurities, so they want them simps to call them pretty and all that kind of stuff, but like it doesn't work for women.
That's true. Speaking of that, remember the reason I use those dating sites? Obviously, I mean, you have a dating site, maybe you meet someone, you leave that chance. But I also, that was a period when I, Lord.
No, I'm just gonna keep it here. They're just gonna see the top of my head.
I just learned English quite recently. So I learned English during pandemic by myself, from almost zero level, or like very like I'm at the table level, to a decent fluent. And then I got the job when I was training expats and exposed to different English accents. And again, this is when I got dating side, because I also wanted to meet someone. So I was like, okay, maybe I possibly meet someone. Maybe I also like meet people just to talk. So it's funny that actually I'm like, I met both men and women. I put that I meet both and practice my English quite a lot. And then I met Chris, and well, it went further than only practicing. Come here, kiss me at least. Kiss me.
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
You're only getting the ball top of my head. That's it.
That's what I got, yes. So I practice my English. And Whew. Okay, anyways. Fell in love at the first sight. By the way, it was more respect from the first sight, especially from my side. I really respected that man from the very beginning. I didn't even believe his story. It was so unreal. But then he showed me the evidence, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. Only hairs. You married? Yes, that's my husband, showing off his bald head. I see it. And your art is awesome. Andrew, thank you. I love that some people are coming from the like fighting background or watching those kind of live streams, but also bring up my art, because yeah, I'm an artist. On the ring, I'm also an artist. I live in America, and maybe it's different here, but the women have become rude in the last 10 years. Well, America, US, United States is a big country. I suggest you to start traveling maybe in smaller towns and just meet more of the countryside, because...
Just get yourself a passport.
Yeah, that's also the thing.
No, just get
Okay,
a passport.
get yourself a passport.
No, because like, if you get married in the States, you're gonna take half your shit. You have
That's-
all the control over your
Well,
all that kind of
he
stuff.
knows. He has thought through all of it. Prenup, contract, I think is important, whether you do. But again, big cities, all that fancy stuff doesn't work. I think even if you go Europe, like if you go London, for example, if you go Paris, kind of the same vibe. A lot of people say that it's kind of the same. To spoiled off not only men but women, not only women but men as well. Like big city people are more used to the comforts. They're too much into social media. They're like doing their job and intoxicated with the stressful lifestyle, and that also affects people's personality. So I think people who are closer to nature, live more simple lives, are just better for building the life with, and that includes women as well. You're the one punch man. Well, he actually is. He hard. I taught him how to punch hard. Isn't it?
Where do we have all small money? that we have
Small
delivered?
money. I have a little small money here, but it's the small money I have. I think we.
No, but what about, don't we have 100 here?
100. I got the coffee thing because. Oh, go for it. We got the delivery from where?
The old port.
Hmm. How you're sweet. Thank you. How did you guys know you guys were compatible? We talked about it straight away. Well, Chris, very funny. First date, and we talk about very. The literal says, "Do you want kids?" It's like, well, I would say before that no, but it's also because I was coming from the background I am. I'm not like I wouldn't take that responsibility without really knowing, but also I never met like a man that would make me want to create a family. But then I also say, but I'd never say never, and I think it's just those certain things that needs to be in place to actually be ready, whether you want or not, to be ready to give that person that you create a real life and raise them right and give them the safe and healthy environment, which neither me and Chris had when we were children. And then one thing, I'm the oldest child in my family. When all the girls, my family like divorced and my father figure, I'm very good with my father now, but again, he never been a strong father figure and I never had that dad who would, just take care of everything and just, that kind of stuff. So I learned how to take care of things myself, both financially and even help my family and do a lot of things to put it on my shoulder. And he literally had that in his one of his criteria. So he was looking for someone from the similar background because, you know what? If you know what is Victoria Cross medal, it is the Medal of Honor. There, 70% of the people, only men, that have that honor, Medal of Honor, are coming from the same background as I do. So there is a general pattern for people. Very often, oldest sibling is the one who steps up for that role. And well, for him, that was a compatible trait. And there were other traits. And for me, I saw that this man knows what he wants. He literally told me that he's looking for a partner. He told me about his Tinder, Bumble method, how he meets people and stuff. I was like, oh, okay, wow. That was a problem me first time seeing someone who knows exactly what he wants and I think that causes such a strong respect towards a man, but also his story. The things that he managed to survive. Again, that was another thing that I respect that man. And as a woman, you should respect a person first and foremost. Other things is our common training and sports background. We've always been hyper training and athletic and into that stoic military type of mentality and sense of humor too. So other things clicked too, but there's more important about core values, and we literally established it very beginning. It wasn't without all smooth in the beginning.
See, they said hello beauty, and this all the top of my head. There's like hello beauty.
Okay, if you just rub it like this and make a wish, it's gonna come true. But yeah, it wasn't also all smooth in the beginning. There's a lot of moments where we just wouldn't understand. We're coming from different cultures, backgrounds, like a lot of things we just don't understand. And it creates resistance. But we just managed to, instead of running away or demonize each other, we actually managed to sit and listen to each other's stories and understand where things come from, but also call for accountability. Like there's so many things that Chris called for my accountability that made me a better, more accomplished person. And with me, I think he became more gentle. I think he just, as a man, like I learned how to give him safe space. And I like to be a healer. I like to be sweet and gentle. Neither of us wants to fight. And yeah, here we are. So even if you meet the right person, it might feel at times that it's not the right person straight away, but try to look deeper. You can always leave. Just tell yourself, okay, if it's no go, you can always leave. You can always, okay, that doesn't work. It's harder to stay and actually give it a try and work on it. Who is the boss person next to you? That's my husband. So, Chris is safe space, pink boxers. Oh, you're reading it. Yeah, those pink boxers. Well, you consider that guy's size. Yeah. My head is smaller than his single quad. Yeah, I'm just massaging my neck a little bit.
It's like I'm not like Orgur. I'm like what 100 kilos? What is that in pounds? Like 240.
You're
or something?
6'2" and you're 100 kilos.
What is that in retard units? Like six.
I don't know. 200 something pounds or?
240, I think.
I'm not sure, yeah. Freedom units. But yeah, well, you're 6'2", 100 kilos, and I am 5'3", and I am, well, now I'm 55-ish, and gonna go for 52. I'm officially, when I make 52, my fighting weight, I'm officially half weight and half size of Chris. Is your husband American? He's Norwegian.
I'm Vietnamese.
Oh, now you say that. You used to. He likes to say that he's Chinese. Enjoy, baby. You must be bulked. I am. He is also very bulked. As I said, like, this does not look like anything comparing when I stand next to him. And that's nice because I can be princess, like a real little princess I am at my heart. But yeah, no, sometimes it's ridiculous, especially here in Vietnam. I'm more jacked than a lot of guys in Vietnam, because a lot of them are my size or slightly bigger, but you know what I mean. Still, and in Georgia also. In Georgia, not everyone is too big. There are some shorter guys as well, and I would literally be. That would be part of the compliment. The guy would just stop me. It's like, whoa, your back is huge. It's like, thank you, thank you. And yeah, with Chris, it's just all disappears. It doesn't really look like anything. Naoya Inoue is #1 pound for pound king. Again, I think he deserved so far like the hype around him, but he needs to challenge maybe a higher weight class. Right now, he's just dominating things through his weight class, and there are some things to be proved. But again, officially, yeah, he's one of the pound for pound. Arm. Not the best lighting, but yeah, I'm fine. And my forearm's also quite developed. But again, I'm tiny. What?
No. I'm just laughing at
I was laughing at me showing off my little muscles. Rotang lost to Takeru. I was watching, but I didn't watch the fight. Well, Rotang, how old is he? He's like 45 now, so the guy is legend. But yeah, everyone has their past prime time. I wish you and your loved ones good health and good luck at work to make your dreams come true. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Look amazing. Thank you. Ice. Ice. No, I don't have ice. I just drink water. But anyways, guys, thank you for all the questions. Good fight weekend. gonna be great fight months. Some like Bivol fight is coming up, and then we have Usyk fight, and then we have Hamzat versus Strickland, and there are some other events too. So it's cool to be able to see that, and yeah, at the same time preparing for my debut, which is gonna be June 23rd in Saigon, Ho Chi Minh, Vietnam, in their local promotion, and it will be recorded as an official fight. Do you like David Benavides? I always had respect for him, and I wouldn't say he was my favorite boxer, but today's fight, and against someone like Ramirez, as accomplished Mexican boxer himself,
You're 2 hours later.
I was like, okay, that he really showed his class. He showed his class against someone who is very strong boxer, and he just dismantled their style. And by the round was like 5 or 6 round, there's like went over. Beautiful, and even like slow motion, you see the variety of the boxing that he executes. So it's not only that he's fast, it's also powerful. He knows how to set up those punches. He has good defense. So yeah, definitely David Benavides to me at this point is, I don't know, I would put him higher than Inoue, and also because he's been, because of his achievements. Now was cruiserweight, he's also light heavyweight champion, so it's at least 2 weight classes. So yeah. Okay, before wrapping up, I'll show you the boxes one more time. Okay, I'll stop. You showed them too much. Anyways.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Anyways, have a good one. Good day, good night, depending where you're from. And I see you in the next live stream. Ciao.